Hello everyone, it is Walt here, bringing you another one of my famous walk and talk kind of videos here in the woods on an absolutely beautiful day. And today's principle is about magical thinking versus what I would call creative thinking versus realistic thinking. And so, as you might guess, my idea here is you don't want to have magical thinking and you don't want to have, realistic thinking, and you want to have creative thinking, like overall. So here's how I'm going to explain this one, because maybe that doesn't make sense off the bat, but I would think of realistic thinking to start off with here as the idea of when somebody says, get real, get realistic. I think you should be realistic. What this often means is, okay, whatever you were dreaming of doing, whatever you're, attempting to do, forget it, okay, let it go. Just get into the realm of what you know you can do. And as we know from like some of the work of Bob Proctor, he has this famous I would say like it's famous to me. Maybe you guys haven't heard of it or his work there. Check him out. He has some wonderful material. But Bob Proctor has this idea that when we're setting goals and we're going after goals that we think we can do, versus what we know we can do, okay, versus what we want. That what we want is the most important component here, okay? So I would think of it like this. When it comes to realistic thinking, it's only doing what you know you can do. You're not shooting for anything, there's no inspiration, there's no challenge, and you're just doing what you know you can do, okay? And that's not pushing your limits, it's not inspiring, it's not fun, it's not what you want to do, okay? If you, basically, if you're doing what you want to do and you know how to do it, and great for you, just keep doing that, okay? But for most people, a lot of what they know they can do is not actually what they really want to do. It's something that often depresses them, it isn't really fun, and it takes a lot of the power away from them and gets their affirmations to be negative and to have their subconscious mind working against them. As we know from our two rivers kind of model here, where it can either be a river that, flows on to success and makes you really happy, or one that takes you down to failure, defeat. Anyway, that's what I would say about realistic thinking. When it comes then to magical thinking, I think that magical thinking would be a thought process where you believe in, oh, everything's just going to pan out perfectly, it's not going to require any work, suddenly everything's going to be great, the world is so awesome, everything is just, it's a step too far. It's beliefs that go to be completely outside the realm of reality, outside what is possible kind of idea, or what you even think is possible. It's kind of like a euphoric state or something that a person with bipolar disorder would experience. Their bipolar 1 disorder, of course, being mania, being somebody who just has these beliefs suddenly that everything will work out, everything is going to be so great. Okay, if you're going to be really positive, that is fantastic. If you think, okay, I can do great work, that's all fine. Okay, having the positivity is never the problem here, okay? It's not the problem of being too positive and too happy. It's the problem of thinking that things can just pan out without any realm of reality. The idea that, like, if I clean my room, suddenly there won't be school. At least that's an example from Billions that they brought up there in season 1, which was one of their best seasons, but whatever. That's beside the point. Now, the idea here is really that magical thinking, I don't think too many people engage in this one, but it's often an argument people use to justify realistic thinking, or rather, dream-crushing kind of thinking. And you don't want to, dip into magical thinking, basically, because it's a step too far. If you step into it once in a while, or just philosophically consider it, that is all good. The only problem is that a lot of people who do kind of dip into a more woo-woo kind of side of self-help, they really ignore all of science, they ignore all this kind of research, and they think, okay, I shouldn't, have, vaccines, I shouldn't have all these things that have been proven to work and really help people, and they think instead that, my positive mental attitude will defend me. Well, it may help you fight off disease better because the negative mental attitude actually gets a stress response going that suppresses your immune system, so weakens you to disease. At the same time, it's not as good as a vaccine here, okay? Also, you ruin herd immunity, so whatever, okay? Anyway, my main point being the fact that you can't have magical thinking where things just go too far. It's not good for your health and your life and all that kind of thing. And so then that really leaves creative thinking, which is what I would say is a state where you're really happy, okay? Look at those mushrooms right there. Pretty nice, huh? Now, really, it's a state where you're happy. It's a state where you can go after things that you want, go after what you want to achieve, and believe that you really can do it, okay? Believe that it's a good idea. All that kind of stuff is all fine. The problem is when you dip either into, I can't do it, into the realistic thinking that so many people dip into, or into the thinking that goes the other way, of course, magical thinking, where everything will just work out without any kind of hitches. And these people also end up with magical thinking being kind of glass cannons in the fact that they may be shooting for something good, but if they take any damage, they're just like destroyed, and they fall back into negative thinking because it's like they're risking everything, and so it's easy to lose. Regardless of how well I'm explaining that, the main idea here is to be in creative thinking. Be in a state where you're creative, where you're doing what you want to do, going after what you want to go after, but you want to hedge it correctly. Don't over-hedge. Don't, just say, oh, I'll make sure that I have no risk in any situation. I'm not going to go for my biggest dreams. I'm only going to go for a small one. Don't do anything like that. But what you do want to do is to go after things that you want with a side that allows you to learn, okay? It's allowing you to learn from the experience to get better and to do better in the future when it comes to, writing or trading or gaming or whatever it is that you want to do, okay? Whatever it is that you love doing, want to do better at, all that kind of stuff. It really comes down to being more creative, being open to inspiration, opening yourself up to inspiration of the subconscious mind, but also not dipping into like this magical kind of thinking that just takes it a little too far. I'd say that the right idea is balance, and that's such a good principle in Taoism and Buddhism, and that it's really effective in the long run here. So if you can dip into creative thinking, if you can be creative, be inspired, but not go too far with it, you can really condition the subconscious mind to be happy and to have stronger pathways of love in the brain. Basically, your neural pathways that are focused on love and happiness will get stronger and stronger the more you use them, just like a muscle. It's a principle called neuroplasticity. So go ahead and do that kind of thing. Work at it, and it can be really effective at transforming your life, making you so much happier. And that's about it, guys. So I'll see you guys next time with the next principle. So stay tuned. I'll see you then.